Find other great podcasts like this one at Podmoth.Network.
Hey there, fellow true crime aficionados. We're the host of Bad Acts, a true crime podcast. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Aaron.
Join us every Thursday for twisted true crime tales of dark deeds and despicable people. We focus on lesser known, unique stories with a new case each week. We've covered family annihilators, cannibals, revenge killings, killer kids, mysterious murders, survivor stories, and much more. We've even tackled stories of people who blamed zombies, vampires, ghosts, and voodoo for their bad acts.
Of course, we know they're the only ones to blame. You can find us everywhere you get your podcast, or you can visit our website at badactspod.com.
If you like fresh stories and new perspectives on crime, Bad Acts will be your new jam. Join Bad Acts every Thursday. Stay safe, y'all.
See you soon.
Are you ready to dive into the depths of intrigue and unravel the caffeinated enigmas that surround us?
Look no further than the electrifying world of Caffeinated Conspiracies, the podcast that's about to jolt your curiosity awake.
Join us for a caffeine-fueled adventure where every sip and every secret is a clue waiting to be deciphered.
In each episode, our dynamic hosts delve into the most thought-provoking and jaw-dropping theories that will leave you wide-eyed and pondering. From mysterious artifacts all the way to the depths of the ocean, cover-ups, conspiracies, the unknown, all with a cup of coffee.
Available on all major podcast platforms. Subscribe now and stay tuned for mind-blowing episodes that will leave you questioning everything. Remember, truth is stranger than fiction. So let's dive into the mysteries together. Join us on Caffeinated Conspiracies, satisfying your curiosity one cup at a time.
Welcome to the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast. I'm Deklan, the son.
And I'm Jane, the mom. This is the podcast where we talk about brutal crimes, bizarre occurrences, and get you drunk with cocktails themed around one of our stories. To lighten things up, we'd like to end our time with a chaser. Please keep in mind some of our stories might be upsetting to young or sensitive ears.
We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to contact us by email or social media. You can find our contact info in the show notes for this episode. If you'd like to support us through Patreon, you can find us there at Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy Podcast, or use the link in our show notes.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, it's always good to hang out with you guys, have a little chit-chat and a drink.
Yeah. Do you have a fun story for us today, Declan?
I wouldn't call it fun, but I do have a story for us.
That's a good point, because you have
the
brutal.
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld? Oh.
Yeah. I think it's SeaWorld. Let me double check on that.
Okay,
yeah,
we're
SeaWorld.
talking SeaWorld, not C-word, right?
Yeah, SeaWorld.
Okay.
With the animals from the ocean.
Okay. Sounds good.
What are you going to be talking about today?
I'm going to be talking about a few jailbreaks out of prison breaks
Okay.
that are interesting and wild. And so for the drink, I brought the Frenchie cocktail, which is made of 2 ounces of gin, half an ounce of Saint Germain, 2.5 ounces of fresh grapefruit juice. You can garnish with a grapefruit wedge if you like. The steps are to add the ingredients to a shaker with ice, shake well, and strain into a highball glass filled with fresh ice, and then garnish. So,
Hey,
are you
give
ready?
it a taste.
Okay.
Yes.
I actually think this is going to be good.
It's not bad.
It needs to be sweeter for me to really enjoy it. I think I
Yeah,
would add a little simple, but
It's like the perfect amount of sweetness for me, though, but I'm not
yeah,
big on sweet drinks.
right. I never realized how complementary grapefruit juice and Saint Germain were before. and they really go. I feel like they taste well together.
I don't know if I've ever had Saint Germain. I'm not sure though.
Well, you did in this drink.
Yeah, well, my only conception of it is
Is
that
this
it
drink?
pairs well with grapefruit.
Yeah. We've I think we had it in another cocktail, but off the top of my head, I mean, this is 134 cocktails that we've drank now so far. So I can't even tell you which one it would be. I'd have to do a big deep dive but I would only have the ingredients for my drinks, not for your drinks in I'd have to look at every individual drink, and I'm way too lazy for that. So
True.
we're just going to say that it's a pretty tasty drink and I enjoy it.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. And the reason I brought this drink is because it is called Frenchie. And my story is from France. So I didn't do any hard leaps into choosing this drink. I thought it was a good fit. So we're going to talk about some prison breaks. And that is with an S because it happened repeatedly. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Philip Morris situation. Or I can't remember the real guy's name.
Yeah, I don't remember it either. Again, a lot of episodes to forget names.
Yes.
This one, the guy is named Pascal Payet. He was born on July 7th in 1963 in, I'm going to say that I'm probably not going to pronounce some of these French words right, but Montpellier, that's wrong. Anyway, Montpellier, France. I think that was a little better. I tried looking it up, but it's hard to remember it, how it sounds through the speakers. And then when you try and get your mouth to say the same thing, it doesn't always quite work out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm awful at pronouncing things, so I won't give you any shit for it.
Right. It just makes us, I'd say unique, but I think a lot of people have a hard time pronouncing names. So it's okay. We're all accepting and nice to each other about it. We're not going to give each other anybody shit. So when he was a kid, he moved around a lot and finally settled in Marseille. I wasn't able to find out much about his younger years, maybe because his adult years have been so notorious. I don't know. But and plus this was back in the 60s and there wasn't a lot of, it's not like today where everything you do from the time you open your eyes as a baby throughout every minute of every day is documented and everybody knows everything about you, which is not great and I don't love it. But we don't know a lot about him. I tried looking, couldn't find very much information. In the late 80s and early 90s, he was committing some petty crimes. In 1988, he was convicted of aggravated assault. In 1993, he received a sentence for conspiracy. And by 1997, the crimes got a little bit larger. Payet was involved in the robbery of an armored truck. Unfortunately, one of the guards died during the robbery. So, not good there. Many months later, Payet was arrested and eventually was convicted of murder and sentenced to 30 years in prison. So far, none of that's too wild. But now is where things start to change. We're going to get into some shenanigans. Because this is our bizarre story, not our brutal story, because you get the honor of being the brutal story today. In 2001, Payet orchestrated a daring escape from prison. He was incarcerated in that prison, but not just any prison escape. This one involved a helicopter.
Oh no. Okay.
right? I mean, he's not tunneling out of anything with a spoon. He's not hiding in the laundry barrel. He managed to get a helicopter. Not quite sure how he did that, but because there were some differing stories about that the helicopter was hijacked, that it was paid off. I don't know. He got a helicopter, though. He had been planning this escape for a while, noting the movement of the guards, the layout of the prison, and the outside grounds area, as well as he bribed several officials in the prison to kind of look the other way. I mean, a helicopter is going to raise some alarms and some suspicions, I would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you might want a couple of guards to close their eyes for a bit. When the helicopter landed, he got on board and they flew away. By using false names and moving regularly, Payet was able to elude capture for a couple of years. So this was
Wow.
a good little escape plan. Being the kind-hearted soul that he was, he didn't want his friends to be in prison any longer, so he made plans to get them out as well. Of course, using a helicopter. So in
Flight jobs.
2003, he organized a helicopter escape for 3 men that he had been arrested with in 1999. This time, though, it only took a few weeks to catch all of the escapees, including Payet, so back to prison they went. Escaping prison and then coordinating an escape for your cronies isn't appreciated by authorities. I don't know why. But it put Payet at the front of the line for scrutiny and increased surveillance. He was transferred to different prison basically every 6 months because they thought
Wow.
he was such a flight risk. Right? He
It seems
spent
like it'd be easier to escape while you're being transported to another prison, though.
Good
I feel like that's just
point.
giving him
Good
opportunity.
point. I'm not quite sure how they did that, but maybe it was like they didn't tell him, oh, by the way, you're moving tomorrow. They were just like, bro, get your socks. We're going. I don't know. But
Maybe.
he, every 6 months, was sent to a different prison. And the majority of it, he was spent in solitary confinement because they don't want him orchestrating anything with anybody and talking to anybody, so they kept him all by himself. It bothered him so much that he went on a hunger strike and published an article to his blog about the terrible tragedy of being moved around so much. I did not know that prisoners could have a blog that they could be posting articles to, but apparently
When was this again?
he did. Early 2000s. Like
Oh, okay. 'Cause I know, like,
2004.
in some prisons now, they have, like, iPads that are monitored that they just get to,
Right.
like, keep. So,
Okay.
I guess they could have a blog now, but
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
in the early
surprising. Early
2000s, that's a little
2000s.
surprising. Yeah.
It would have been like 2000, between 2004 and 2007, because 2007 is when he had his next shenanigan. In early 2007, he was sentenced regarding the escapes, both for himself and his friends, earning him another 13 years in prison. So when you don't like the sentence you got and you escape, it turns out they don't like that and they give you more time, which, but
Who would've
when
thought?
you're Pascal Payet, what do you care? Because you're just going to find a helicopter and fly away. Payet wouldn't stand for that, and he organized another escape. Bastille Day the National Day of France is celebrated on the 14th of July each year to honor the storming of Bastille during the French Revolution. It is a day of big celebrations in France, so Payet took advantage of this fact, basically thinking everybody's going to be looking at somewhere else. 4 masked men hijacked a helicopter from an airport in Cannes, ordering the pilot to fly them to Grasse prison about 20 minutes away. When the helicopter landed on the inside of the prison grounds, the armed men quickly made their way to Payet's cell and freed him. All of them returned to the helicopter and flew away. They landed a while later, letting the pilot go safely, which is very kind, nice of them. Payet was able to make his way into Spain, and 2 months after his escape, he was caught outside of Barcelona. He was once again returned to prison in France and sentenced for his escape again. This one
Should
earned
put him in
him
like
an
a bird cage, like somewhere a
yeah,
helicopter can't get to, or
right,
any aircraft.
right. Maybe. Well, the last one he was like in solitary confinement, and they had to go into the prison to get him out, and that's why there were
Yeah.
4 people, and they were armed. They had shotguns and things, so they're in there. It's not like he was on the ground hanging out and just jumped onto the skid and they flew away. They had to go get his ass. This last one earned him an additional 5 years added to his sentence. And since 2007, there haven't been any other escapes from Payet, but maybe he's just biding his time, waiting for the right moment or the right helicopter or the right friends. I don't know, but
The last
it's
escape sounded like an A-Team episode.
yes, all of
Like
them.
you get
All of
you
them,
get your
right?
buddy, 4 dudes in a
Right.
helicopter with the crazy pilot. Yeah,
Let's
that's
go get
definitely
bro.
A-Team. Yeah.
However, the pilot was not involved on this last one, and he was
Yeah.
just like, I'll do whatever as long as you let me live, basically. And they were like, well, we're not going to hurt you if you do what we ask you. And they nicely let him go unharmed.
Oh, how caring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty fun, though. I thought that was interesting. I think he has like the
It is
highest
interesting.
number of prison escapes via helicopter or something. I mean,
Yeah, that's gotta be. It's
technically
gotta be a record.
3, although he was only involved in 2 of them, but the other one was helping his friends. So, I
Put
mean,
him in the
that's the
Guinness
kind of
Book.
friend you want, right? If you're stuck in prison, you want a
Yeah.
friend on the outside to help you get out.
Yeah,
And it's
especially a friend that has a helicopter or
right.
access to one.
It's way faster than digging a tunnel with a spoon. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Or going through the sewer pipes.
Right. I don't want that either.
No.
Okay. Well, that's my short story.
Okay, so let's talk about Don Brancheau. Don was born on April 16th, 1969 in Cedar Lake, Indiana, and was the youngest of 6 children. On a family trip to Orlando, Dawn and her siblings attended a show at the SeaWorld Orlando, where she saw a trainer doing routines with Shamu the killer whale. And these were like, they would ride on Shamu, they'd do like, Shamu, make it, like do
Right.
flips and stuff and
Right.
splash the crowd. And I'm sure
Right.
we've all seen videos of like killer whale shows. I don't think
For
I've been
sure.
to, have we been to one?
No.
I don't remember. Okay.
We have not. They're very highly frowned upon now because it's become
Yeah.
more common knowledge that they're not nice to the animals in the shows. And it's not
Yeah,
healthy
and like,
for an animal like that to be in a confined space.
and that's why like you frequently see the orcas with the floppy fins up
Yeah.
top
The
is
dorsal
because
fin
it's
is
like a
all
sign of bad health, like
yeah,
not being able to exercise properly. And
right.
yeah, shortly after seeing this show, her life goal became being an orca trainer. She graduated from the University of South Carolina with degrees in psychology and animal behavior. Before being hired by Six Flags Orlando, she worked with dolphins at Six Flags Adventure in New Jersey, which we've done swimming with dolphins. It's pretty fun,
Yes,
and they can't
th- it
mess you
is
up
fun.
that bad, I feel. I mean,
Right.
they could do some damage, but
Oh, if they wanted to, for sure. Yeah.
after a 2-year stint training dolphins at Six Flags Orlando, Dawn was hired by SeaWorld Orlando, where she began her career training otters and sea lions, which sounds awesome. Not
It
the sea lions.
does.
Sea lions are scary, but
And
the otters would be
I
fun.
would love to have an otter as a pet because some people have them as pets.
Yes.
And I would
They're
trade
lucky.
all of my animals probably for an otter.
An otter. They just
An
live in
otter.
Florida and get
And
a big pond for it to live in.
your dad would kill me.
Yeah, definitely. She met her future husband while working with SeaWorld and married Scott Brancheau, who worked as a stunt water skier using orcas as propulsion.
Mm. I mean, it's
Yeah,
cool,
so
but
I'm not
it's
really
not
sure what that means. If
like
there's like ropes on it like a horse and they put the yoke in its mouth, or
maybe, or maybe he's like standing on top of it.
on top of the head, and it's maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm really torn about it. It's not nice to do that to animals.
So the same year she married Scott, she got a job working with orcas. She was responsible for orchestrating, no pun
Ha!
intended, and revamping the Shamu show, which was an event where a killer whale performed tricks by itself and with a professional diver, or trainer, not diver.
Okay.
Shamu was an orca who was a female juvenile orca that was captured in the Puget Sound in Washington in 1965. She originally lived at the Seattle Aquarium until she became too large to house there, and was sold to SeaWorld San Diego, where she lived performing tricks until 1971. On April of 1971, Shamu was due to premiere in a commercial promoting SeaWorld San Diego. The commercial consisted of a woman in a bikini riding Shamu, but Shamu was only trained by people in wetsuits.
Okay.
Shamu attacked the woman and was sent to a smaller tank where she died 4 months later.
No.
Yeah,
Oh.
super sad.
I don't like that.
Shamu's, yeah, and I don't know if there's really that many orcas at like SeaWorld and stuff now, because I think situations like this and people
Right.
realized how bad it was for them. And
Right. But I think that they were I think they still had orcas in like the 90s, 80s
well,
and
this
90s,
happened
so
in the
70.
2000s, so
Oh, I thought you said 71.
that was Shamu.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll get into
Okay.
this.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this thing happened in 2010.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So after Shamu died, her name was used for years after her death as SeaWorld username for a stage name for other orcas.
Stage
So
name.
it was
Right.
Dying with Shamu, but it's just a different orca
Right.
named something else. But
Okay.
so the name for the
Okay.
orca in our story is named Tillicum, or Tilly. Tilly was caught in Iceland in 1983 and was sold to SeaWorld Orlando in 1992, and was the largest male killer whale in captivity, and was able to provide 21 calves throughout his life at SeaWorld.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
so this is kind of like an ethical thing, but like, if orca is born in captivity, is it more humane to keep that one or to get an orca from the sea or the ocean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they shouldn't be in there anyways, but
Right.
is it better to keep it there from when it's born to when it dies? Like, I don't know. Because you can't release it, I'm assuming. Like, if they
I think
didn't
they've
learn how to
tried
hunt
and it
properly.
hasn't been very successful.
Okay.
Question. How do you transport a gigantic orca from Iceland to San Diego? I
I don't. That's a great question. I'm gonna look it up right now.
I I mean, you're not
I'm
hopping that
imagining
thing
like
on a
a.
flight.
It looks like they put it in like almost like a shipping container looking thing. So it's
Mhm. On a
probably
boat?
very close in there. The picture I'm seeing is they're loading it from a truck onto a plane.
Onto a plane. Okay. That's a big
Hmm.
plane.
Like a C-130, like a
Yeah.
military plane.
Right. I mean, it'd have to be
Yeah.
huge. What does that do to the pressure changes for an animal who lives under the ocean?
I wonder if it's like sealed if it doesn't experience the pressure changes.
It,
I don't know how that works.
I don't either, but I would think that it makes some difference. I don't know. What do I know?
Yeah.
I'm not a marine biologist. I don't know shit. I didn't even know how they got it
So
there.
Tilly was about 23 feet long, 7 feet wide, and weighed 12,500 pounds
Wow.
and was easily identifiable by his collapsed dorsal fin.
Wow.
This often happens to captive killer whales who are malnourished due to change in diet or from lack of exercise in their small captivity tanks.
Sad.
On February 24th, 2010, they started the Orca live show and everything was going well until Don sat at the edge of the pool with Tilly rubbing his head when he grabbed either her arm or her hair and dragged her underwater.
Oh, no.
Spectators watched in horror as Tilly swam erratically until it was clear that Don had been killed.
Oof.
Tilly played with Don's body for 45 minutes till he was directed to a small medical bay, which would be easier for him to calm down in.
Oh my God.
Tilly released Don's body, and an autopsy was revealed, showing her spinal cord was snapped, her scalp was removed, her left arm was torn off, her knee was dislocated, and she had died from
Oh.
drowning.
Oh.
Don's
Oh,
death
this
was
is
the wrap
so
up
bad.
on live training shows with killer whales.
Yeah.
OSHA put a big stop on that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
I
very violent
just,
way to go out.
yeah. That is,
That's why it freaks me out when you see like people on kayaks that killer whales go like it's a big thing in Washington for
yeah. Puget
kayakers to
Sound.
go and see orcas.
Yes. And I have wanted to
Ugh.
do it. And now you're scaring the shit out of me. And I don't know
Yeah,
that I will
no,
ever
I
do it.
don't want to do
So
that shit.
thanks.
Apparently, orcas are attacking boats now too. Like they're gnarly little fuckers. They're scary.
They're just an
Like
animal, but
the videos of them, like how they attack seals on icebergs, is
oh, I
so
don't
scary.
know. I can't watch those. I can't.
It's
It's
so
too
scary.
much. It's too much for me. My little animal loving
Yeah,
heart. I can't watch that stuff. Wow,
and
that
it makes you
is,
think like all those videographers that like the National Geographic people that go and make documentaries about animals. I feel
yeah.
like sometimes they create the situation on purpose.
Oh,
Like,
I think they
how
do. I
rare is
bet
that to
you.
catch that
I bet
you just
you.
happen to find a seal that's being attacked by orcas?
Right. Oh, I don't. That's terrifying.
Yeah, orcas are very freaky.
Yikes.
You have a
So
chaser for us?
I do have a chaser, and it is a watch recommendation for a new show. I think several episodes have been out because we binged several of them back to back, and now it's 2 weekly. So it's the show called Going Dutch with Dennis Leary, and he is in the military and gets put in charge of an army base, and he does not want to be there. It's in, gosh, I can't even remember the town, but it's a Dutch town, thus the name Going Dutch, and it is a shit show. Like nobody's following directions. No one's doing it's. They make cheese there. That's like the big thing. They make cheese and they do laundry, and it's not like an army base where they do any kind of military training or anything. And it's known for being like the place where if you can't get promoted, they just kind of throw you there. And he gets sent there because he pissed off one of the colonels, and they won't promote him because they pissed off this other guy. And so this other guy sent him there, and it's hilarious. It is so well written.
Yeah.
It's
I think I saw that on
funny.
my feed.
Yes, I recommend it. I think you'll like it. It's a good show. I know you're not huge into shows, but because you like the movies, but it's a short little half-hour comedy. You know, you can
Okay, you get through
watch
it in
it for a
day.
bit and be done. It's funny though. It's good. I like it.
I'll have to check that out. My chaser is a YouTube channel called, hope I get this right, Ariathome, Ariathome. And it's like this producer guy, and he has this very elaborate setup attached to him at the hip. He's got like a keyboard, whole like producing setup basically, with like a
Oh, like
screen
music?
on. Yeah, and he has it like strapped to his back so he can just play it and walk around, and he'll just like find people on the street and get them to like sing or rap or make a song while he's producing it live and they're walking down New York City like streets. So it's
Wow,
like
that's weird.
he he makes like some pretty cool songs, just like people freestyling, and he's just making all the beats up on the spot and
That's
producing the whole
cool.
thing just with it attached to his hip. It's weird.
I
But
find people that can improvise and do stuff like that so amazing. We were just talking about
yeah,
this
being
yesterday.
able to freestyle rap or whatever,
Yeah. I
yeah,
cannot.
it's very
I
tough.
am a think to talk person. I have to think about everything I'm going to say and formulate a dialogue in my head before I will say something. And that does not work out well sometimes because somebody will ask me a question, and if I'm caught off guard, I am standing there like, what the, huh? Who? How? It can be very awkward. And I look like an asshole.
I hate it when I like say what and then immediately realize what the person said before they have the chance to say it again. So I'll be like, "What?" and then I'll respond.
Oh, right.
That happens to me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think it's amazing that people have those skills. I wish I had skills like that, but I do not.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Well, I think that
All right. Well, I think that wraps up.
it does.
Yeah, wraps up today's episode. Thanks for joining us again, everybody.
Yes.
Make sure to share us, give us a rating, drop a review. Apple reviews, we'll
Please.
read them if you
Please,
leave us
please.
one. We'll read it on the show.
Absolutely.
And go like all our stuff. Give us a follow on Instagram, all that fun stuff.
For sure. Nice
right, love you,
talking
Mom.
with you, bud. Love you.
Bye.
Hey, friends. Thank you for supporting our podcast. Please share our show with your brutal and bizarre friends. Give us a boozy follow on your favorite podcast platform. If you're feeling extra generous, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating or review as well. But maybe do that sober so all the letters are in the right place.
You can find all our contact information in the show notes. We love hearing from you, and if you're interested in helping us stock the bar for our future boozy episodes, you can find our Patreon link in the show notes as well.